Okay, so today we're going to talk about your Google Business Profile and how to use it to get your phone ringing fast. This is without a doubt the quickest way for you to get to start appearing in Google search results for the near me searches. So whatever your service is, pest control near me, AC repair company near me, pool contractor near me, anything along those lines, window treatments, plantation shutters, any of that kind of stuff, things that are your service plus a location that you service. Any of those kinds of searches, when you see that group of things, that's called a SERP feature, an SERP, search engine result page feature. The appearing in the map pack, those are those top 3 results that sit above everything else. They sit above sponsored. There are sometimes sponsored links in there. But you can get in there organically just by doing the things that I'm going to talk about on this podcast today. And it is all stuff that you can generally do yourself. And so let's jump right in and take a look. I'm going to do something here. This is an audio podcast. We'll be uploading it to the podcast. And if you're listening to it, while you're driving or you can't access the screen, don't worry about it. I'm going to talk through everything, but I'm also posting this to YouTube for the YouTube channel. And so I'm going to have a case study that I'm going to show as we're working along through this, but I'm going to talk through anything that is called out in the case study. So if you're listening and you can't access this via YouTube, then don't worry about it. You're going to get all the same information. If you do want to follow up on it later, just go to our YouTube channel, Drive Group LLC, and you're going to be able to search for the Google Maps podcast that should be about the same date as this one, and you're going to be able to scan through and find all the different stuff that we're going to talk about. So let's jump right in. So the more and more these days, your Google Business Profile is without question the storefront for your online presence. It's very, very often the first place that people interact with your business. If you think about your behavior, you are looking for a service, whether it's home services or a restaurant or a manicure or a massage therapist or anything along those lines. I've said this many times in the podcast, that journey starts generally at Google. It is starting at AI as well, but I think a lot of people still have a lot of trust in Google. I think the first thing that they do is often just go to their browser, on their phone and just type in, so-and-so near me. Even if it is an AI-based search, a lot of data is showing. We're very early in the AI search game. We don't even exactly have a name for it. There's a lot of people talking about AIO. There's people talking about AEO, answer engine optimization, artificial intelligence optimization. So we're pretty early in the early stages of it. I've been doing this since SEO was not even a phrase. And so, I've seen it before and I know kind of how this looks. It's probably going to be a little faster this time because AI is really sort of progressing really quickly. But what we know is that, the artificial intelligence is pretty much behaving the way that we behave. And so it's going and looking for indicators that match with your search. So if you're looking for a service of some kind in geographic that's near your house, it's going to go and probably use a search engine or look at its own database for information that it already has. But a lot of times it does go out and search the web. And depending on the different chat agent that you're using, you might see, scanning the web or searching the web, something like that. That's a part of its process. It's going out and performing a Google search. So anything that you're going to do for an individual to help them find your services in your local area should also help with getting artificial intelligence to find your services in your local area. So all of this stuff is relevant to us in the AI age. So let's get right to it. So when that journey starts, you search for a keyword and a search, a service and a geographic or a near me or something like that. You're going to find the businesses that are in that map pack. Maybe there's some you recognize because of branding that's been done around town. So you see their trucks or you've seen billboards or you've seen their storefront or something like that. That dovetails with the branding branding podcast that I have. It is hugely valuable if somebody recognizes your business. So, definitely do this stuff first. But when you get in the Google Business Profile stuff, I think is the quickest way to get your phone ringing. But when you've got that done and you're sort of in maintenance mode on it, where you're just posting on a regular basis and that kind of stuff, the stuff we're going to get into today, it is definitely worth going and listening to the branding podcast, learning how to make yourself top of mind awareness. What should your service vehicles look like? What are these different little things that you can do to make yourself stand out against your competitors? Say when all three of you are appearing in the map pack, somebody's more likely to click on you if they recognize your name. So make an effort to get your business out there brand wise so that they recognize who you are. So, but let's talk about that. So what do you do if you think about you're going to, before you even click through to the website, certainly before you click to make a phone call or contact them, you're probably going to read their reviews. You're going to sort by most relevant. You're going to sort by newest, probably best, worst. You're going to read some of the bad reviews. Then you're going to maybe go to the website and you're going to read about them a little bit, something like that. Google Business Profile, without a doubt, is the first place that this kind of stuff, that these kind of searches, they take place there, and the user is going to make a decision, maybe not make a final decision about your business, but they're going to start building their opinion on your business at your Google Business Profile. So the first thing you got to do is make sure that your profile ranks when someone is searching for those keywords. The second thing you want to do is make sure that your content is in there in such a way that it answers the questions that they are likely to have. And then any kind of reviews you have, you want to make sure that you respond to them. So we're going to touch on each one of those one at a time here. So when Google decides who to put in that map pack or the local pack, it considers three main factors. It considers proximity, so how close is the searcher to your physical location or to the service area that you have set up as service providing, the service area that you provide to. The relevance, so how likely is it that the service they're searching for is something that your business does? And the prominence, which is how well known and trusted is your business? How trusted does it appear to be? That largely is reviews. And so, how do they prioritize the results? It evaluates the relevant results. It's going to use star rating. It's going to look at review volume. It's going to look at categories and services listed. It's going to look at hours of operation. There's a lot of data on that one that shows if you're listed as closed, it's less likely that Google's is going to list you in the maps if your business says you're closed right then. Your business description, it's going to look at that, read it. It's in the database. The first place they likely look when they're making these decisions is their own database because it's a lot faster for them. How regularly you're updating and your engagement with the platform. So they want to see that you're using their products and services, and we're going to talk about like what things you can do on a regular basis to signal to them, hey, we are using your products and service. We are a responsive business, and that's gonna make them more likely to rank you. I mean, if you think about how many choices of businesses they have just in your local area to rank, there's a lot, and they have to narrow it down to 3. And so they've got to figure out somebody that's going to be responsive to what the person needs. And because if they're not, if they list a bunch of businesses that don't make any sense, you're not going to come back to Google, and that hurts their market share and in long term hurts their business model. And so they want to make sure that they're showing the most relevant results. A good way for them to know if they're going to show a relevant result is to look and see, is your business actively posting? Do you look like an active business? And that's going to give them a good feeling that you're going to be responsive to what the person's request. So the first thing that you've got to do is you've got to claim and verify your listing. Probably most businesses have done this by now, but I do like to say we still have companies that come to us that don't have knowledge about this. They're really not sure who has control of their listing and things like that. I'm not going to get too deep into this podcast. You can certainly Google it. One of the things that I would say is if you're starting out and you're creating your Google Business Profile for the first time, be sure to do it yourself. If you're the business owner, make sure that it's an email address that you're never going to get rid of, that it's always going to be available, info@yourprimarydomain.com. We have seen a lot of times where somebody claimed the Google Business Profile with their own personal account and nobody can get access to it anymore. It can be a real problem. So use an email address, like I said, that won't change. Store your credentials securely. Make sure that you know where the credentials are. Obviously, if you have access to the email address, you can always reset your password. But just make sure that you know where those credentials are. And then only share it with trusted team members. You can add people like us as admins to the thing or as managers to the profile. So if we need to be posting on your behalf, you can do that. That's generally what we recommend, as opposed to sharing the actual access, username and password with somebody else. You can go in and you can add them. You can add them as a user. So we'll sort of talk about how to do that. The second thing is fully complete your profile. So go in. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. So just give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So let's put a Google Business Profile here, where we can see it. And here we go. We had a little bit of a technical malfunction there. So this is an example of a Google Business Profile. We'll first start with how, once you've claimed your profile, when you log in with that admin area, you should get this really nice navigation area up here. These three little dots over here, this is where you're going to add a potential manager. People and access is where you do that. And for those that are listening on listening without the YouTube, when you create your Google Business, when you claim your Google Business Profile and you go to your business profile in Google, so you just Google your business name, and we're doing that with a client that we're going to use sort of as a case study today. It's actually not a client. It's somebody that we walked through a strategy session, and they've been really good about doing this for themselves, so we'd love to use them as an example because it is evidence that you can do this yourself. So we Googled their name, Journey Fitness Center, and their Google Business Profile comes up, and on top of the Google Business Profile, there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different little links, and at the very top, there's the little 3-dot menu, which is sometimes called a hamburger menu. If you click on that, there's a link there that says Business Profile Settings. You click on People and Access, and you can add anybody that you want in there. You just if you have owner or admin, we were added to this. We're not the owners of it. She's done it the way that you should do it. So we can't actually add anybody. But if you're as the owner, you're going to see a link in here where you can add somebody and just add their email address. And so once you're into it, then you would start looking at the description. Go through. You click the info just one by one. You click edit profile is the very first thing that you can click on, and you just start going through that and filling it out, making sure that it's appropriate to what your business does, that it has the correct hours, that it has all of the different things that you think anybody might ever search for you for. And that you're wanting to tell Google, these are the things that we want to rank for. When people in our area search for these services, these keywords that are specific to our business, we want to show up. Putting that content in your Google Business Profile, in the description, in the location, obviously is good for geographic areas. There's a bunch of different things that you can fill it out. Fill this out as thoroughly as you can. So we'll go back to. So we're back to the case study that we're going to get to in a minute. But just make sure that you have your business category, your services offered, your hours of operation, your business description. Make that as complete as you can. Use relevant keywords and locations in that. ChatGPT or any other AI writing agent is really good for doing that. Tell it what you're trying to do. Tell it what keywords that you want to rank for. You should have, if you have a paid access to ChatGPT, you should have a project that just creates content for your business, and you should only use it for that. And so have it scan your website. Tell it about your business, how long you've been how long you've been in business, what your different services are. Make sure that it knows all that, and then ask it to write things like social media posts and Google Business Profile descriptions. It's going to be great at that. It's going to put it all out. It's going to say when you were founded and maybe how many employees you have and what your corporate culture is and what the different products and services are that you do. Definitely lean on it for that. And this is a great place to use AI because it can be tough to write these kind of things about your own business. Your service area, your opening date, and then photos and logos of your business. Get all of that stuff in there. So once that's done, that is a big chunk of getting your business, sort of ranked immediately. Just filling all of that stuff out. The next thing that you want to do, though, is you want to update regularly with posts and photos. And so in the Google Business Profile, there is an area that allows you to, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that back up for people that are watching, and I'll just talk through it. So in the Google Business Profile, I don't know where that went. In the Google Business Profile, there is you're going to see here, we're looking at the profile for Journey Fitness, which is our case study today. And there's a place where you can have photos in there, and she has a bunch of different photos. Some of the photos have text. That's really great. The Google can look at the text and understand what it is in context. She has personal training and group fitness as text in there. Experience the difference, personal training, group fitness. That's a really, really great way to indicate to Google that that's what you do. She's got all specifically related images in here. So Google can look at the image and figure out what it's looking at. And so you want to make sure that any images that you have in your Google Business Profile are relevant to the services that you provide. If you have a picture of the office dog, you want to leave that out of the Google Business Profile because they're gonna be confused. It's gonna dilute your profile. I shouldn't say that it's the end of the world, but it's just not a good idea. There's a chance that it's going to confuse the algorithm, and it's not going to recognize that you don't provide pet sitting or something along those lines. So that's where you can create the photos. The other thing about the photos, and this is something that if you can figure out how to do it, there is something called EXIF data on photos that you can upload. It's data about like shutter speed and what the camera type and what the lens and different things about the image. One of the things that it includes in there is longitude and latitude about where the image was taken. And that's a really good place for you to signal to Google, hey, this is where this image was taken. There are tools in order for you to do that yourself. They can be a little bit fussy for your average person to work with. So what we recommend is whenever possible, take these photos with your phone. The smartphone's cameras are so good now that they take really good pictures, and you can include location information automatically. You have to turn it on. What kind of phone you have, it determines how you turn that on and off. Just Google it and look at your settings in your phone. But make sure that your phone is set up to put longitude and latitude in there. Then when you upload them, to Google Business Profile, Google strips it out. So if you, for instance, were standing in somebody's driveway, no one's gonna be able to figure out where that image was taken. For privacy purposes, the EXIF data for I think probably all EXIF data gets stripped out of photos that get posted to the internet. It didn't used to be that way. There were some security things. There were some celebrities or in the early days of social media that posted images around, like in front of their house, and people were able to figure out where they lived, and their houses got overrun with fans. And so the social media platforms pretty quickly figured out that they have to strip this stuff out. So you don't have to worry about putting it in there for privacy purposes. It's going to get pulled out, and it's mostly just going to be retained for information about where you do business, where your photos that are on your Google Business Profile being taken, so they can build kind of a picture about what your business, what areas your business services. So that's a big one. And then I'm going to go back to, I've got the sort of the book up here. Yeah. So, with posts, I talk about posts in the thing as well. So let's look at that. So what are Google Business Posts? Well, Google Business Posts are basically identical to any social media post. Facebook, Instagram, they can be images, they can be videos, they can be offers, they can be specials. There's a variety of different things that they can be. To be honest, most people will never see them. There are a handful of like really dedicated Google Business Profile users. They're the kind of super reviewers, if you've ever seen them. They have like a little badge next to their name that they're like a local guide, I think is what it's called right now. And they've maybe offered up 3,000 or 5,000 reviews on different things or something like that. It's probably less than that you can get you that little badge. But those people may use the posts. But so you want them to look good, and you don't want them to just be spammy and things, because people are potentially going to see these things. But I say that because I'm sort of setting it up that way, because if you are hearing this and you think, well, I've never heard of a Google Business Profile post. I don't, this obviously doesn't have any value. And you're familiar, obviously, with Facebook posts and Instagram posts and TikTok posts and things like that. That is true. But the reason is that the reason that we use them to put these things into the Google Business Profile is because you're, again, another way to tell the algorithm, we are an active business, we're using your products, we are responsive, and these are the things that we do. This post is about some product or services that you provide. So it's an AC repair, or it's fixing a leak, or swapping out an electrical panel, or installing commercial window treatments of some kind. Any one of those things, put that in there as a Google profile post so that you can indicate to Google, this is what we're doing. It's a great place to use your keywords. If you don't have a keyword list, certainly there's a lot of tools out there that you can use. One of the places you can go is just to go to Google and Google something that's along the lines of what you think is a keyword that people might use. There's going to be people also searched for, which is actually on the little screenshot here that I have brought up. Look at the keywords that are in there for people also searched for. In the example that I'm showing here, I searched for the business by name. And so it has a bunch of related fitness that are what are called branded searches, because it's people looking for them by name, or looking for their cost, or looking for their location. But if you do what's called a non-branded search, which is in this case fitness center near me, because we're looking at a fitness center, then it would give you search related. It would give you people also search for terms that are other keywords, and that's Google basically telling you these are terms that people search for in your area when they're looking for this business. And use those in your posts whenever you can. Use them naturally. You don't want to do keyword stuffing where you just have lists of keywords or anything like that. These have to be natural. Again, this is a great place to leverage ChatGPT or another AI of your choosing to say, hey, I need a Google Business Profile post, or even better, make yourself a content calendar. Tell ChatGPT, hey, make me a content calendar. I need a month's worth of Google Business Profile posts. Do this in your content creator for your business. Tell it, if you have a seasonal business, tell Google to make it seasonal. If it's, one of the things that the last time I checked, the main AI that we use is ChatGPT. It wasn't always great about getting the current weather. It might know that what season it was and could make posts related to that. But if you're going through a heat wave or a blizzard, or something along those lines that's specific to the area that it might be difficult for ChatGPT to know, put that in the prompt. So say, hey, if you're an HVAC company, it's really, really hot here right now. It's probably going to be for the next month's record temps are being set some days. Can you give me 8 Google Business Profile posts? And it'll put them all together for you. It won't generally spit out images for you, but you can use other tools. Canva, for instance, is really great at doing that. Canva has the ability to actually take a list that you've generated, like as a spreadsheet. You can upload it, you can build a template, and it'll actually populate all 8 of them. You can just export them and then just one by one, put them up into Google Business Profile posts. So lean on AI to create a content calendar for you, to create the actual posts for you, and then just get some images. They don't have to be fantastic. Do the best you can with whatever tools you're comfortable with. And then start posting them. Do it a couple of times a week. Just make a reminder on your calendar. On Tuesday morning and Thursday morning, I'm going to sit down at my desk, and while I'm drinking my coffee, I'm going to go find that image. I'm going to copy that, paste it, and I'm going to put it in the Google Business Profile post. If at the same time it's relatively easy for you to do, go ahead and post it to Facebook and Instagram. They both generally, if you have those two linked, if you post to one, it automatically posts to the other. So just by doing 2 quick little posts like that, you can get basically posting at 2 places, Google Business Profile and Facebook. You can get it into 3 places, which is Instagram, Facebook, and your Google Business Profile. So there's value in that. But if you're only going to do one, we recommend making that one your Google Business Profile. So let's hop back over to the text of the book. Yeah, so the photos, if you don't use stock photography for this, use real photos, real jobs, put the metadata in there. If you have before and after shots of window treatments, for instance, of pest control, electrical panel upgrade, a new lighting installation for a backyard patio or a pool cage or something like that, those are all great. Those are all great uses for both posts and for images. So that pretty much covers posts. For reviews, find a way to ask for customer reviews. Put a link in your email signature. I'm back over here to this case study Google Business Profile that we're looking at. You can get a link from Google that allows you to make it really easy to ask for reviews. We definitely recommend getting this link. I'm going to walk through how to do this. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing. So if you go to the read reviews link in your Google Business Profile, when you're logged in as the person that claimed the profile, you're going to get these extra options up top. And when you click on the read reviews, you're going to see a link at the top. It's a little button that says get more reviews. If you click on that, it gives you a review link, and you can copy it to your clipboard. And what that link does is if somebody clicks on it or pastes it into their browser, not only does it take them to your Google Business Profile review, if they're logged into their Google account, which most people are, it's going to launch a modal, and they can immediately start typing. They just click 5 stars and they start typing away a review. So that's really great. Ask for the reviews whenever you have a satisfied customer. If you have an unsatisfied customer, do not probably ask for a review there, because they're probably going to find you and review you anyway. Ask for reviews as much as you can. Try to get as many as you can, because those are really good signals to Google that you're doing a good job. These are the services that you provide. One of the things that people are often not good about doing when leaving reviews is talking about the specific service that they had done for them by your business. So if they had a pool repaired, or if they had an AC or an electrical fix or a plumbing leak or something like that, they may not actually use those words, those keywords that you're trying to target. But by replying to the Google Business Review that they gave you, you can use those in a natural way. So if you know what the service was that they provided for you, you can say, thank you so much for using us for your AC repair in Port Orange. And, we're really, really appreciative that you took the time to leave us a 5-star review. Thank you so much. Go through at the same time that you're doing your Google Business Profile posts. Just check off any of the reviews that might be in there that you haven't responded to. When you first do this, if you have 25 or 35 or 50 reviews, go through and respond to a few of them at a time. You do not want to copy and paste this from a Word doc or from a text snippet on your computer, because it really turns off people when they look and see, thanks for your 5-star review, thanks for your 5-star review, thanks for your 5-star review. It doesn't sound genuine, and it doesn't sound like they're actually getting an understanding of your business. They really need to be specific to the review itself. That can be kind of exhausting over time. So what we recommend is, if you do at the very beginning of this, if you have like a 50 or 100 reviews, you just go and get 10 of them, copy the review, paste it into ChatGPT, ask for a response that's keyword optimized, copy that, paste it into the response. Do that 5 times or 10 times, whatever you have time to do. And then just set a reminder for the next couple of days to do it again, because it can be pretty exhausting, and you're going to end up the responses are either going to sound the same, or it's best to just do a block of them, then leave it, come back to it later. And then if you get a bad review, typically everybody expects bad reviews. It's really not that big a deal. It's generally considered to be a good thing if you have a couple of bad reviews, because it shows that you're a legitimate business, and that the reviews are probably real, because you wouldn't be putting fake, bad reviews about your business. The key with that is respond politely. My recommendation on this is type what you want to say into ChatGPT, and then say, hey, please make this sound polite and professional, and it'll do a really good job making it not sound mad, because you might be mad at the person or feel like you didn't deserve the review. In some cases, people leave a bad review for the wrong business. If that's the case, then just say, we don't have any record of having done business with anyone by this name. We apologize if you had a bad experience with our business and we just don't have it on our records. Please reach out to the office to let us know what the details are so we can make it right. And if you think about the way that you would react to a business that had that response in there, you're probably going to be like, yeah, you know what, things happen. This is just the way it goes, but at least they're trying to make things right, and that's going to make them look pretty good in your eyes. So, or make you look pretty good in their eyes. So, that's really kind of the key to that. This is, yeah, so we talked about this, GBP for all business types. Yeah, that's all really good. Yeah, so let's take a look at this case study here. So I believe that was over in this browser. It is. So the very first time, so those that are listening to this on, without the video accompaniment, I went into a tool that we use to look at organic rankings. And this, one of the things that this tool shows is how many SERP features you have, and what, kind of what those SERP features are. I had the initial conversation with this, I'm in actually a small business development center group with this business owner. And when it became clear in our business that this was a really critical thing to do, it was something that I talked to that group about. I think I may have made a presentation. And this business owner was really good about getting right on top of this kind of thing. And so she went the very next week, and maybe the very next day, and she claimed her Google Business Profile if she hadn't already, and she started creating regular posts, responding to reviews, and you could almost, and then I think we got on, she immediately, like within, it was a monthly meeting, I think at that first month, maybe a couple of months in, she started saying, this Google Business Profile stuff is working. I'm getting a lot more phone calls through the Google Business Profile than we used to get. And I really think that it's a result of me putting these posts in. And so I've got a little bar graph here. And the SERP features are lit up in green. And I had the conversation I believe I had that conversation in March of 2023. She started posting it may have been April, I don't exactly remember, but she started posting right around then. And by May, July, we start to see not only does her profile start increasing in visibility, but she's starting to get a lot of green bars. And the green bars are the SERP features for her business. So that means that there's something in there that is probably in this case a map pack, or it's showing an image of a fitness center in New Smyrna. And the one that is really telling is there's another, I'm at another bar graph here, and it shows the local pack in April of 2023. She had 2 listings in the local pack. Then she goes to 8. She stays at 8 for a while. She hovers around. Then it's 12. Then it's 13. It goes up as high as, I think, 14, 17. All of those. So what that means is she was not being listed in the map pack for search terms prior to her starting to actively optimize her website. We did not, or excuse me, actively optimize her Google Business Profile. We did not work on her website. Her website was not search engine optimized at all. None of the search engine rankings that she has are the result of her website. The website was essentially just like an online brochure that was not search engine optimized at all. And so all of these rankings are coming from her Google Business Profile. And just by doing the posting and uploading the images, I don't think she was actively adding longitude and latitude to the images. She may have been just taking them with her phone though, and so it got uploaded anyway. But just doing the regular posts, she saw her Google Business Profile visibility go from 0 to ranking for over 10 keywords for people that are searching in her local area. And that is just absolutely huge. I can't say enough about how, I use her as a case study, her business as a case study all the time, because it shows just how effective, the Google Business Profile can be. And so that's, I think, pretty much all I wanted to say about that. Just, if you are really curious about seeing that, go find this on our YouTube channel and look and just, scrub forward to the end where you can start seeing those bar charts. It's just plain as day that when she started making changes to her Google business profile, they started recognizing that that was something that she did in her area, and it started ranking her for those services. In the book, if you're interested in doing a strategy session, and obviously reach out to us, drivegroupllc.com, contact-us. We're happy to walk through this stuff with you. If you give us an idea of what your business is, what your geographic is, we'll actually research the keywords that we think that you're going to be able to rank for, stuff that's not super competitive, that kind of thing. It's not a high-pressure sales thing at all. We're just there to demonstrate ourselves as experts, and if this is something that you're in a position to hire someone to do, we'd like to be a part of that conversation because we think we can do a really good job for you. We'll take a look. I'm kind of going through the book here, and if you're not watching on video, so we'll just summarize the key takeaways. The Google Business Profile is the first thing that potential customers see of your business. You got to claim it. And you got to verify it. There's going to be some kind of a verification that happens, whether it's a phone call to the business. Sometimes it's a postcard. I don't know if they do that much anymore, but it used to be a postcard. Complete every section of the profile as well as you can. Update it weekly with posts, photos, and any new services that you have. Encourage people to review your business and respond to those reviews. Use your smartphone to capture and post the photos because it automatically puts the EXIF longitude and latitude in there, and it's authentic an image of your actual installs or whatever your products and services are. So there's that's better. Think like a searcher. Find out what your list of keywords is at the beginning of all of this before you fill out the profile, and look for those people also searched for recommendations from Google, because that's going to give you a better sense of the different things that you should be trying to target. Use AI where you can. Have it write the account, have it create a calendar for you, have it write the posts for you. And then the final thing is a strong Google Business Profile presence leads to branded searches, more calls, and better leads. And so that's pretty much it. That's sort of reading it right from the last little bit of the book. I appreciate your time today. Again, it's drivegroupllc.com/contact-us, or just drivegroupllc.com if you want to read about the business. We have new information on there that's about pricing our services. If you're curious as to what it costs, we're putting that right out there for you. We also have a podcast on that. So good luck with this. It can be transformative for your business. And if you have a need for a digital agency to do this for you, please consider calling Drive Group. Thank you very much.